Amityville Ripper. Jack the Ripper is back, and he's got a pokey stick. Now, as we go into this video, remember the drinking game. Every time I stutter, you are to take a shot. And the last person alive at the end gets to call the morgue to pick up all his buddies. Okay, so Amityville Ripper. This movie is actually kind of hilarious and not that scary, but I really enjoyed it. Both times I watched it to memorize it. It starts out with newscasts and I guess podcasts, I'm not sure what else they were, talking about how aliens have arrived and they're tearing down the Amityville house. Are they connected? Who knows? And they're also selling memorabilia from the Amityville house. The best part about this is, well, one, you get the alien story, which is important in the movie. You get the Amityville house memorabilia story, which is important in the movie. And you get the commercial for alienmingle.com, where you can hook up with aliens. And I love that. That is hilarious. That's almost as good as Rick and Morty's thing where you can hook up with planets. Then we go to the actual movie where we meet our hero, Marianne, who is a rocker, who is a heavy metal chick, and her brother, Nichols, who apparently wants to see her naked, which is, incest is lovely in the spring, isn't it? Well, this is New Year's, and Nichols is insisting on throwing a big party and avoiding Y2K, though I'm thinking it happens around this year, around 2023 when it came out. And he also used the phrase, all that in a bag of chips, which I have not heard in over 20 years. So it's all that and a bag of chips, which I could not eat that much anymore. I used to be able to. So Marianne calls her friend, whose name I never picked up in this whole movie. So she's just hot goth girl now. Hot blonde goth girl. Who's going to come over and they're going to do something tonight. And so then they go out. Then Marianne goes out and we meet the other two main characters. The guy in a wheelchair who likes to feel Nichols' organs up. So he knows he can get a transfer someday because he's fat. He's fat and in a wheelchair, almost as fat as I am. Which is very hard to do, by the way. I could be fatter and then I'd have my own TV show on the Learning Channel. And the cheerleader who likes pink. And Marianne goes back in her room and falls asleep, laying on her hands, which I've done once and learned not to do that because your hands then fall asleep with your body and you have to smack them against your end table a few times to get feeling back in them. But don't worry, she doesn't have that problem because you don't have problems of limbs falling asleep in movies because you just don't. So her friend comes over and Marianne shows her what she has because it arrives shortly after. A box with Jack the Ripper's knife in it. And then they decide to dress up and go to the party. And we get a montage. A dressing up montage. A sports training montage. Because you've got to have a montage. I'm sorry, that episode of South Park's music just gets stuck in my head whenever I see a montage. I've seen that ski episode like a billion times, whenever I see a montage, that song pops into my head. So South Park did a good job. They trained me to constantly hear that song. So they get dressed up and they go out, and they get the knife, and then they go back in, and they have another montage, a seance, a getting a seance ready montage, a sports training montage, because you got to have a montage. And in between, we see our first fourth wall breaks, and the first fourth wall breaks are coming quickly because there are a lot of them, and they are funny. So then Nichols flirts with the hot blonde goth girl, and then they come in and they break open the hammer and they break open the knife. But Nichols and fat guy and cheerleader chick are in the room now, and Jack the Ripper comes to life as a ghost demon person thing. I'm not even sure what he is because he can clearly stab people. So, anyways, he goes after them, and they run away, try and get the partygoers to leave, but none of them believe that Jack the Ripper is alive, except for the one who gets stabbed by Jack the Ripper in the shower. But there is no nudity in this movie. But you can almost see her nipples in one scene in the shower when she's getting stabbed by Jack the Ripper. So that is always good. Just watch very closely and maybe slow it down when she's in the shower. So Jack the Ripper. So they go out and then are reading the script, and then get the script taken away from them, with the fat guy's main concern being if he lives. Now, there's a fat guy in a wheelchair. We all know he doesn't live. I mean, even the guys in Antarctica who don't have this movie, if you tell them there's a fat guy in a wheelchair in a horror movie, they're like, no, he doesn't live. So then Jack goes around killing all the people at the party. But a cop arrives because they called the cops on a party to get them to come help with Jack the Ripper. But they can't get in. So then Jack kills all the party guests, except for our heroes. And he also killed a pizza delivery driver outside with a chainsaw. So then Jack is handed a sword by a prop guy and kills the hot blonde goth girl. So Mary Ann goes to her room, sulking that her friend is dead. And then fat guy in a wheelchair, hides under a camouflage blanket while Nichols hides behind the bed. And Jack the Ripper kills Nichols, but he can't see the fat guy in a wheelchair because he's got camo on. So then fat guy in a wheelchair goes to the fridge, because where else do fat guys go but the fridge? I mean, I go to the fridge probably 20 times a day. The fridge is my friend. And Jack the Ripper sticks a straw in his head. You know what other movie gets a straw stuck in somebody's head? Blood-Sucking Freaks. And you know, Blood-Sucking Freaks has one thing over this movie. They use a woman's ass as a dartboard in Blood-Sucking Freaks. So go check out Blood-Sucking Freaks after you check out this movie. So then the fat guy's dead. So Mary Ann and a cheerleader in her room and they try to get the cop to shoot a window, but apparently cops' bullets don't break glass. The cop goes to the back door and shoots the knob off. Marianne and Julia run outside. Jack the Ripper runs after him, and that's all I'm going to give away. Because the ending is so cool, I want you guys to check it out. It is utterly hilarious. It does involve aliens. And that's all I'm going to say. So join me next week as we are going to be looking at something on a wrestling show. I've got a list. I haven't decided what I'm looking at yet. And Cynthia Rothrock movie. And so until then, see ya.